mentioned and noted that whilst you were about to form your second album entitled Nausea, you went through a patch of writer's block and you relocated to your parents' house in San Joaquin. Tell us about creating this alternative world whilst you were there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just when you spend too much time alone and you kind of leave yourself with your hobbies and don't really hang out with anyone, I think you kind of just get lost in your music and what you're making, and you kind of make that your home for a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was able to, I don't know, create an altered reality for myself through the music, which really helped me finish writing, so that was good.
Let's talk about the album Nausea. It's, it's a heavier tone, there's introverted lyrics, it's almost darker. And I mean, now that you've had several months to kind of think about the album itself, what does the body of work signify to you? I mean, now that you've had time to kind of digest the album?
Yeah. Well, I mean, each record that I release is almost like a bookmark of my life. So Nausea was definitely the most time of self-reflection for me in my mid-20s. So it definitely had its own kind of dark tone, and I'm kind of relieved now that it's kind of over, so I can just move on with my life as well. And hopefully the music will be a bit brighter and a bit more up-tempo next record. But I'm glad that I was able to put that part of my life into music.
You put your guitars to one side and you were playing with the piano.
Yeah.
I mean, it was more delicate and more detailed. You became very attached to it.
Yeah.
I mean, did this give you a wider scope to work with? I mean, was it uplifting to know that, you could form music in this way and, give a different outlook?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's almost like a different, when I switch instrument to instrument, I feel it's like a different personality playing bass or a different personality playing piano. I found that piano was the most relaxing for me, and in that case, it was like kind of therapeutic. So I was able to like freely play and like just discover myself through piano for a little bit.
And I wanted to get your views on the song Come Arabia. Here's a song that you particularly are very fond of. It's atmospheric, and you like to play the song live because you can feel the song's convictions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's also just a very peaceful song, and kind of, I don't know, to sing in that kind of context of death in front of a bunch of people. So just kind of gratifying for me. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like being able to share something very, really something I think about a lot.
And tell us also about Breaking the Angle Against the Tide. I mean, here's a song that's been so well received and so many kind words about the song itself. And this song is very poignant because it kind of entails overcoming the depression and the anxiety that can hold one back. I mean, this is probably a song that, must be very significant for you to be able to form something that's so meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually that was the first song that I finished on the record, because that was after my whole bout with writer's block, so it was perfect timing. I was able to write that, and the anxiety and all the depression kind of washed away. So it's actually one of the faster songs on the album as well. So
was it pleasing for you that there was a meticulous approach and you were subtracting rather than adding? Was that something like an approach that you enjoyed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of my favorite authors are like kind of people who write, like they free write and then they edit and edit and edit until it's precisely perfect for them, what they're conveying or whatever. And I find myself the same way. I just like to kind of get it to where like all the elements are properly where they are, and they're just doing what they're supposed to do, and everything fits like a puzzle.
And the hooks, I mean, you get that from your father. You're very good at identifying a good hook.
Oh yeah.
Since your father was a DJ, very much into Joy Division, The Cure, New Order. I mean, is that something that you've got a knack for, and you can kind of something that you identify with in particular?
Hooks in general, I think, I'm always out for like the perfect pop song. So I think pop songs definitely are nothing without the melody.
How do you feel your philosophy to music has changed? I mean, since since the release of Nausea, I mean, like, you know, you've had time to kind of take it all in. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, do you feel like a certain way about it? Are you headed in a certain direction, a certain vision?
Absolutely. I mean, as for Idle Labor, it was, though the lyrics were very introverted, the music sounded very extroverted, like kind of like very outgoing music and kind of happy. The second record, Nausea, is more landscape and kind of like my surroundings and kind of finding peace in my surroundings. This next one, I'm really excited about. I have some concepts coming up.
And some of those concepts you've touched upon. Is it true you've been listening to a lot of old school jungles, some drum and bass?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something that's a totally different direction. I mean, you kind of implemented a nice style with Nausea. I mean, this new album forthcoming could be even broader.
Right. Well, I mean, it's, you know, I'm into a little bit of jungle, drum and bass, as well as a band from Japan called Fishmans.
Yeah.
And I would like to join those two worlds together, a little bit of dub as well, old dub. Something kind of just like walking pace. It's nice, kind of like a good thumb to it.
It's been mentioned often, there's something that's been mentioned with the press release of the album. I mean, stepping back from social media and identifying with the real energy around you. I mean, how integral was it? I mean, you mentioned you feel happier now since the 4 years release of the first album. You're chilling with your friends more, you know. I mean, you just feel like you're in a better place, more creative. I mean, is that nice now that you're getting the best of both worlds because you haven't totally abandoned social media? You just
right. No, I'm almost a little embarrassed that I kind of shut myself off for a little bit. So I'm kind of relieved that I can deal with social media and kind of like filter out what I don't need to see and whatever, or just be okay with laughing about things and not take it so seriously.
And that brings me to my next question. I mean, like, laughing about things and writing things which are quite, you know, they're quite refreshing. And here's a few tweets that you put up, and I just wanted to ask you what led to them being put up. I mean, here's one: when I've eaten too much food, my voice sounds like Seth Rogen.
Right, too much fried food. When I'll yell something in the van, like, and I'll just gargle some couplet of words, and I'll sound like Seth Rogen, and I feel ridiculous sometimes.
And here's another one in relation to another very talented actor. Joseph Gordon-Levitt would make a good Lupin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have almost the same head shape. They're both very charming, and they both dress very well. I think it would be hilarious. It would be great.
What's pleased you most in terms of your way of working and the kind words that you've got for your hard graft?
Oh, I'm actually really happy that I was able to get this kind of record out early. I didn't want to have this kind of record, like, I guess let's say my artistic album, to like get that out of the way. It's nice to have that out of the way very soon, because it would be a bummer to have that way later into the discography. So I'm just really happy that people were able to like listen to it alone sometimes, and it's okay to be alone and listen to music again and just chill and take walks with it. And it's been nice to hear people kind of like feeling no anxiety when they listen to that album, because I'm glad that the album helped me from anxiety as well.